Welcome to the third week of News Dash with JNA Real Estate, part of the Singapore Real Estate Explained series. And you know, something that I'm super encouraged by is that there are a lot of individuals who have reached out to us through our central number, letting us know that they have benefited from the news or they find it very interesting, right? And fun fact, there are also some parts of the video that they caught and they realized that, you know, there's some blooper scene inside that it was unedited out. You see, that's the thing, right? We have been trying to churn out plenty of content. And sometimes it's not easy to look through hours and hours of footage, right, for editing, right? Our marketing team has been putting crazy nights, okay? So today, we're on third week of the News Dash with none other than Lucas, where two full-time real estate agents turned part-time newscasters decide to bring you some raunchy news of the real estate market. Not all about real estate, but some things about Singapore as well.
Yeah,
Lucas?
Yeah.
Lucas, tell me more. What happened last week? And this is the week of...
It's the week of the 17th to the 23rd.
Great. Amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
Lucas, let's talk about it. Yeah. Okay. First up.
News. Yes. The saddest one. Like we are beginning with the saddest one, right? Cafe Limonci, which is very near our office. We had meetings there.
Just
It's a
opposite.
great place to work and study.
It's like the only hipster place that is in the Ubi area.
Yeah.
And it's walking distance.
I mean, it's so nice to have like a hipster cafe in the heart of an industrial area, right? And the crowd there was like amazing. They're young. You know,
The coffee is good.
Yeah, the coffee is good.
I think they serve great ice cream as well.
Yeah.
And I just felt that I was just thinking it may have been a young millennial entrepreneur who started it, but I think the owner was someone else, right?
Yeah. So the owner was actually also the same owner of the food court downstairs. Yeah. So when they rented the place, the mezzanine was always there. Just that it was vacant.
I recall it being vacant last time when it was there.
Yeah.
So what happened? They were ordered to close, right?
Yes.
After just 1 month in business.
Yeah. That's a good one, man.
What happened?
So basically, on their social media, they stated that some of the patrons
reported
against the cafe.
So unfortunate.
their own patrons.
Why must we do that?
No. To be fair, it is illegal. The mezzanine they were on was illegal. Yeah. It's illegal. Right. Yeah. So, and the reason why it's illegal is because I think all real estate agents know this, but when you create a mezzanine, it's not meant to be for business or for your patrons and things. It's not meant for operations because this increases the gross floor area.
GFA of the place.
It increases what URA calls the intensity.
But I will think that quite a substantial amount was spent on the renovation of the place. So weren't they like aware that it was like an illegal mezzanine?
They were. That's the funny thing. I don't think they're newbies in the business. They were aware. But I think what they were trying to do is they start first and then slowly get into the process of talking to URA and BCA to get the necessary approvals. So it's not 100% impossible, but of course URA and BCA appreciate that you talk to them first before you start the business.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
Jinghu sometimes is, I mean, they're doing a good job, but it's just unfortunate that it's quite penalizing and sometimes. So what happens to them right now? Where are they going?
Okay, so they haven't closed shop entirely. They're actually still in Oxley Biz Hub, but under one of the bars. Do you know that one? Is the Izakaya? Is it Izakaya?
Yamato.
Yes, Yamato.
Yamato. I know the owner of Yamato. He's actually used to be the MCSC chairman of Oxley Biz Hub. So actually, nice. There was a whole season where we were supposed to rebrand the whole Oxley Biz Hub because the tenant pool there weren't great. And, we wanted to pull in like cars, selling like vintage items at the booth. But that was like 3-4 pre-COVID times. So I would think that this the MCSC chairman, this man, he is a very nice person. And I think that's the reason why he allowed them to move into the pop-up store right inside. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's go on to the next one. Today's news are very sad. What happened? Okay, so we have a pilot that is sentenced to jail because of real estate tax evasion. And ordered to pay $182,000 in fines. This makes things really real. Because, of course, in all legislature or all regulations, there was going to be loopholes that people can exploit.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing now is that with the recent 99-1 thing that happened, income, tax evasion, people being caught, the government is ramping up a little bit more about regulating, such penalties when it comes to fraud or evasion, right?
Yes.
So tell me more about what happened. Yeah.
So he has 2 investment properties that he was renting out in the Balestier area and the Robertson Quay area.
Yeah.
Right. So total, his rental income was supposed to be $236,573.
That's very high.
Yeah, that's very high. I don't know who's renting.
That's like Chris O's rental income. Okay.
Yeah, but instead he declared 90K lesser. Right? 146,858. And so the tax that he evaded was 15,000-ish. Not worth lah. Yeah. Yeah, for 15,000 and then go to jail.
And then fine for $182,000. Go to jail, never mind. 6 months, sit inside. I told myself already, if I were to go to jail one day, which it will not happen, hopefully.
Yeah.
Don't know, maybe pay 陷害 lah, Life is tough sometimes. And I told myself already, I'm going to read the Bible cover to cover. And then write a book after that.
Another Bible.
Because finally got quiet time to do Bible there. No excuses, right?
Yeah.
And not only go to jail, also pay $182,000 in fines and penalties.
Yeah, double whammy.
That is like, I don't know, like maybe at least 12 years of tax evaded. Taxes evaded. Not worth.
Because what IRS can do is they can fine you up to 4 times the tax that you evaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I see here that actually the fine is more than 4 times.
It's more because he evaded for 5 years. And yeah.
I think you have to take into account that actually IRS tried to work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of sort out his taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you kind of know what happened.
Sometimes IRS actually do give multiple opportunities, right? I not here advocating for tax evasion. Okay, I'll just be very honest with you guys.
Yeah.
I tax non-evaded. So I don't evade tax. Neither do I underreport things because I have seen people going through the process before. It's not because I'm a saint, right? And it's torturous. I tell you, investigations takes years. You see, 2018.
Yeah.
5 years later, can you imagine, let's say, right, you are already preparing to retire, you have $236,000 worth of income tax. $236,000 worth. If you have $236,000 worth of income tax, well, good news because you're earning a lot. So $236,000 of rental income.
Yeah.
Maybe you're ready for the next stage of life. You are saying that, hey, why not? I now have a grandkids. I'm going to take care of my grandkids. And then, boom, 6 months jail. That screws up your life.
Yes. And
I've seen people going through the entire 5 years, 3 to 5 years of investigations before. So that's also one of the reasons why I always tell my accountant, okay, whatever expense there's tax planning.
Yeah.
Whatever expenses that you need to report, anything that's given out to charity, anything that you can help me save, you help me save. But whatever that I make, right, you can tax it because it goes back to the government and you build the real estate here as well.
Yes, that's right. Have to be fair. We are taxed very fairly, I feel.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We don't hear of the wealthy people complaining that our tax is too high.
Overseas ultra high net worth are flocking in because the tax here is actually very competitive.
Yeah.
So what are the consequences of evading income tax actually?
So like this guy received, he can get up to 4 months fine.
Yeah. 4 times
the tax evaded. Yes. And then up to 7 years jail.
Not worth.
Yeah. I mean, even if you get...
Will you pay $15,000 to get out of jail or to not go to jail for 6 months?
Of course not.
Yeah lah. And then what if slap on another $180K of fine? So you pay $180K. Would you pay $180,000 to go to jail for 6 months?
Well, technically, to this guy, that's only half a year's of rental income, right?
Yeah. Okay. So the thing here is, I think this is also quite important for us to maybe give a bit of a baseline or a bit of a guidance of how can actually individuals ensure that they comply with income tax regulations, right? What should we do?
Okay, so you have to keep track of your rental income, number 1. Number 2, your rental expenses. Yeah. You have to be aware what expenses can or cannot be deducted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if you are very poor at record keeping.
Right here.
Right? There's two options for you. Okay, either
Yes.
you get
You back up.
accountant.
Like me, you back up. Or
Yeah, either you get an accountant to do
That's
it
right.
for you, or Iris actually has a very simple method,
Huh.
which is they also understand bookkeeping can be very complicated.
It's horrible, you know.
Yeah. So what they do is they'll just assume 15% of your rental income as expense.
Great.
And if you accept it, they accept it. 15%, that's it.
It's so amazing, right? Iris? You know, Iris is making it so simple for us, and then we are still evading. Not we, okay? There are still people evading taxes, right? Okay, that's right. And let me share with you one thing, right? Personally, my income tax, right? Because there's a lot of business expenses, you know, I have to report corporate income tax, I have to report personal income tax. I have none other than my beautiful fiance, who stresses out every single time when tax reporting season is there to make sure that I keep records of all my expenses. And in the beginning, I have my mom to help me a little bit also. I say, you know, mom, I have no idea what I'm doing. I know how to earn money, but I don't know how to, you know, save on taxes. But I found a hack. So because you are here, I'm going to share with you a hack. But before that, join our Telegram broadcast channel first. I always forgot to shout out. The Telegram broadcast QR code is just right there. We launched it last week. Now we have about 246 subscribers and counting. And if you are on podcast right now and you think that we are doing a good job, give us a 5-star review. We have 21 as of now, right? And our Google reviews as well. Okay, so back to the hack.
Yeah.
Two things. There's sorry, I'm having a little bit of cough this week.
Okay,
Too many videos already. Okay, so what happened is there's one app you can download. It's called Dext. D-E-X-T.
Okay.
Dext allows you to take photo of all the receipts that you have. So you don't have to clip all the receipts together and hope that the receipts don't fade away. Okay, okay, that's one. Okay. It saves up, it automatically recognizes whether is it food, whether is it entertainment, whether is it whatever. Okay. Great. And you can churn it out into an Excel. So that's for tax accounting, right? Second, hiring an accountant a year sounds expensive.
I have no idea how much it costs.
Let me share with you. I have an accountant that's working with me, and I pay him like maybe $800 a year to settle my taxes for me. Do you know that when we report taxes, right, it takes days
Only days,
Okay. Actually, for me, it takes minutes. You know why? Because I don't do it. So I'll just like send a bit of things that Penny wants me to do, and then everything is settled behind the scenes. I'm so blessed, right? But accountant costs like maybe $800.
Yeah.
Corporate accountants is also not that expensive, right? But if you are a corporate business owner, you can let me know. Reach out to us. Let us know, right? If you need help, yeah, this is the way lah. Rather than you know, maybe some people it's not purposely underreport. It's just that, you know, they really don't know how to account.
I have people asking me like, hey, how do I report my income tax?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, great. Let's head on to the next one. I love this.
Australian prices.
Yeah, recently there are a couple of real estate brokers from TRG, the Rubenstein Group.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are a team that we love, we watch, that started following our YouTube, our Instagram, and following us. You know, so shout out to the people, I would say the Ray White Group or the TRG in Australia. I'm heading there in Sydney next month. I hope to have a meeting with them.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Awesome.
Yeah. So great. Let's talk about it. Australian property prices experiencing surprise recovery. What's so surprising about the recovery?
Because Australian prices, unlike Singapore, Australian prices actually have been going down.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
Lovely.
And
like my Tesla stock yesterday. Sorry.
It's okay.
You know my Tesla stock yesterday? I set a continuous alert on my brokerage app, right?
Yeah.
Bam, 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 the whole time. I was like looking, I was like, what? I thought 170 plus is already the lowest. Then it went to 165 and 160, then 15.
Buy more.
I bought way more yesterday and I really hope it doesn't crash more. Okay, anyways, yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, so it was going down, right?
Yes. So property prices in Sydney and Melbourne were going down and they were kind of bottoming out.
Yeah,
right?
Beautiful.
But because of that, nobody wants to sell at the bottom of the market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because nobody wants to sell and also not many transactions happening, the property market was more or less stagnant.
Bearish.
At the bottom, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what's happened is that in the past month, they've experienced a good recovery.
Yeah, why so?
Because of a migrant influx.
Yeah.
From China.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Korea.
Indonesia, Korea. I mean, Singaporeans are there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this has increased the demand.
Yeah, great.
Right. Yeah.
Basic economics, right? Demand increases, supply stays low, prices shoots up. Right?
Yes.
I don't know about you. I went to Melbourne before. I'm heading to Sydney next month. I feel that Australia is a very developed nation, and I tell you, it's one of my dream places to retire. It's so chill, and it's developed, very developed, right? So it took me by surprise knowing that the property prices in Australia actually is bottoming out. We have a couple of clients who are in the family office business and fund management themselves. So asset management, sorry. So I'm seeing them going very aggressive in buying some properties in Australia. So I understand, right? When the market bottoms out, this is the perfect opportunity for you to enter. Yeah, that's how I feel, right? So what is the main reason why migrants are coming into the nation and buying, besides the price being bottoming out?
Actually, they have a very interesting. Australia is a very interesting market.
Yeah,
as in they are famous for their education.
Yeah,
a lot of students are coming from overseas to study in Australian universities.
Yeah, a lot of our friends went there for uni.
Yes, and just like Singapore, the rents have been increasing like mad.
Lovely.
Right.
Good yield.
Not as much as Singapore, but still increasing. But because rents have been increasing. We covered one in our news dash about the expats staying in HDB flats. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the rents have been increasing. Property prices have been decreasing.
Yeah.
When the foreign students are coming to Singapore, they found that it makes more sense to actually buy a place.
Yeah.
Than to rent.
Melbourne, you're in Australia talking about. Yes. Not Singapore. Yeah. Australia. Yeah.
It makes more sense to buy a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why the prices go. So besides migrant influx, right, that supported recovery, right? What else? Because what I've analyzed is that I'm seeing that interest rates appear to be near peak, like Singapore with a quarter ago.
Yeah.
And I want to understand, right? Why would that increase prices?
Okay, because the market has been seeing that mortgage interest rates have been increasing for a long time. Across the world, it's been like this. In Singapore, we've been experiencing it as well, right? But we have seen, even in Singapore, that mortgage interest rates actually are slowly starting to ease off.
Yes, I'm seeing it getting corrected a little bit more. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And I think Singapore, we've seen a recovery as well from the buyer demand, a bit more confidence. Yeah. Because we see that mortgage interest rate coming down. So when the buyers are coming back into the market.
Yes.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
What I'm hearing from you is interest rates are lowered, not as low as a couple of years ago, but lowering. I'm seeing that the prices for Sydney and Melbourne properties actually dropped by 9 to 12%. Better prices, dropping of the interest rates, reduction of interest rates, and increasing of rent, forcing buyers to buy. Like what you mentioned just now about students, wanting to buy instead of rent, right? Yeah. I believe the migrants there are also thinking the same way. Definitely with the increase in demand, corrected pricing, a more attractive mortgage rate, a loan, right, per month. Definitely, I'm going to see the prices going up as well. So, are we seeing the same pattern in Singapore actually?
So, we didn't see the same property price slump.
Yeah.
Right? Do we? I'm not even sure if we wish that we did.
Yeah, I wish that
because
we did. At this season of our life, I wish that we did. You know why? Because we can buy more.
That's true.
Maybe I'm 17 now, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So it depends on which. Yeah, you're right.
Which phase of life? Right?
Yes, which phase of life. So a lot of first-time owners are feeling the pinch because they're being priced out of condos, and they can only HDBs are not cheap either. I mean, we'll be talking about that later.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not seeing how we can get cheaper because just a month ago Singapore actually raised the minimum threshold for foreign investments, so it's like $10 million to gain like PR status, right, under this thing called the GIP program, the Global Investor Program.
Yes.
And we are attracting higher quality, I wouldn't say higher quality, higher net worth investors or individuals who want to be Singapore PR to come to the nation. And you're going to see more injection of capital into real estate.
Yes.
And maybe for the HDB market, correction will happen. But I think in the private market, specifically in either the core central region or the prime rest of central region, I'm going to see prices going up.
I think it's a good move. I mean, we are encouraging more money to be invested into Singapore, which improves our economy and our job market, right? And as, in general, Singapore's income can increase, right? And then we can afford more stuff.
Absolutely. All right, so the next part I'm seeing is something that's very localized. Singapore ranks as the 5th richest city in the world.
Yay! Congrats!
Congratulations to everybody. Great job. Increased stress. Pressure cooker even more. Hotter now.
Yes.
That sentence didn't make sense. What I just said. Yeah, but yeah, it sounds interesting. Okay, so I always thought that we were the richest.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we're not.
we are the fifth.
Yes, but in terms of in Asia, we are the second.
And it's surprising that the champion is Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I never imagined Tokyo as having a lot of
a lot of like millionaires
Yeah.
being the richest
Yeah, that
nation.
would be Hong Kong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how many millionaires are there in Singapore?
we have
Yeah.
240,000.
Wow.
100 millionaires.
Wow, that's a
And I
lot.
hope our viewers are gonna be the next ones.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
believe there are even some millionaires who are watching already.
Yes.
If you haven't been a millionaire, come into real estate, right?
Yeah.
So, and 329 million and above,
Yes.
like net worth individual, 27 billionaires.
yeah.
Actually, I think we know like 5 or 6 of the billionaires.
Yeah. The
Wow.
top is Lee Ting.
Yeah. Medical,
And-
electronics.
Yeah, the Shenzhen
biomedical,
Mind Ray Biomedical. And of course, second we know Robert and Philip Ng.
I honestly have huge respect for Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
Billionaire Robert. Yeah. Mr. When you're billionaire, you have either a datuk, a doctor, a Mr. or the Duke or Duchess, right? So Mr. Robert and Philip Ng, their son, Jonathan Ng, is amazing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had the opportunity to work together previously, and it's so humble. The richer you get, the more humble you are.
Yes.
And I think that is that generational legacy they leave. And they are building great real estate in Singapore, right?
That's
Via his
right.
organization, right?
The reserve coming up.
And the place that we always support, Hai Di Lao,
Oh, yes. Love it.
makes me fat, makes me happy, and makes me prosperous. No, made him prosperous.
Yeah.
So we of course have so Hai Di Lao, right? 6th position. So what are actually some of the possible reasons why Singapore is looking to attract even more wealthy?
Yeah.
So what are the possible reasons why Singapore is actually
So we
attractive?
talked about the business migration plan they had just now, right? But on top of that, we have our pro-business policies. We have a stable government. We are clean and green.
Yeah.
And we're very safe.
Yeah.
Right? And because of all this stability, I believe that's what attracts the millionaires to come
You are
in.
right. So
yeah.
for someone who has been in Singapore for a long time, right, you will take for granted for a lot of things that Singapore offers, right? Like what you mentioned, right? Pro-business policies, great corporate tax rates, stable government, clean,
Yeah.
right? Safe, right? Good schools,
Yeah.
great medical facilities,
Yeah.
right? When I went to the developing nations, wow, every single place you go, right, you just need to hold onto your bag very tightly because you don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
I have witnessed in a particular nation where one of my friend was taking a tuk-tuk, and what happened was he was just reaching his hand out with his handphone. And within a split second, 2 motorbike riders, they took it off and they zao. So I'm like, wow, Singapore is really super safe. It's like now, if let's say, it's like maybe in the past, right, people club until like 3 a.m., take the Grab, so safe, take taxi, so in that nation. You don't know where they're sending you.
I would say even in developed nations, I don't feel it's as safe as Singapore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not as clean as Singapore.
Yeah.
Definitely Singapore is one of the cleanest.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Japan is very clean.
Japan, I've never been
definitely very clean. And
Lucas is a great is a brilliant Japanese fan. That's why he's actually secretly happy that Tokyo is the richest nation.
yes.
Yeah.
But
say something in
the
Japanese?
stress level is very high.
Yeah. Suicide rate there is really high.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say
suicide
something Japanese.
Please, can you try something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, damn it.
Done it. Okay. No idea. I should tell you. That's all I know. Okay. So the next thing I want to ask is actually, are you surprised by this list?
Well, I mean, these cities have been in the top 10
Like New
for a
York
while.
City,
I don't think there's
Tokyo.
anyone new right in here,
Yeah.
right? But I am surprised that Singapore is like number 5.
Not bad, huh?
Right in the middle.
For a letter red dot.
Yeah, yeah.
Not bad. Not
Because I expected Hong Kong
bad. Yeah.
to be, but I do think that, I mean, before COVID happened, Hong Kong was experiencing some turmoil,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And actually, COVID kind of cooled them down, luckily, but I do still think there's some tensions over there. So I believe that's what's bringing the millionaires from.
That's right. I think a lot of people are looking to bring their assets, their families, relocating their families, their capital to a more stable country or city, right? And I don't see that, we will go down. I have a feeling that we'll continue to go up even more because Singapore is having a lot of pro-immigration policies to attract the wealthy specifically, and that will create a more robust economy. More jobs will be created. You will see more MNCs coming in, providing more jobs. Incomes will rise, and it's just getting more and more competitive. You have kids.
Yes.
Is it stressful now?
It is. It's so stressful. I mean, compared to our days.
I think
okay, not my days. I'm one generation above you.
No, but it's already very stressful, right? I heard that kids nowadays learn coding.
Yes.
Do they?
As a hobby.
As a hobby? What? How do you learn coding as a hobby? Oh my god.
From the ages, I think you can start from 3 years old.
The only Python I know is the Python. Yeah. Okay. And I think this is good for Singaporeans and sometimes not so good for Singaporeans. Good in a way that if you own a home and asset, prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
There'll be more jobs. You're going to have an improved lifestyle. Hopefully, inflation doesn't catch up faster than the growth in your income.
Okay, I want to say this, right?
Just say it. I have so many things I want to say about this.
Increase in home prices, to me, right, it's a good thing. Why would I want to be in a country where property prices keep going down?
That's absolutely true.
Imagine if I buy something right today, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just confident that in 10 years' time, I'm going to lose money on this.
Yeah. I'm of a different opinion,
Really?
I want to be in Singapore 20 years ago, where I am certain that there's that crash that's going to come. You wouldn't know, right, actually? Yeah, I wouldn't know, right? Because on hindsight bias, right? But it's like, I want to be in that developing nation. I want to be able to learn from developed nations on how their property prices have been shooting up once the nation stabilizes and becomes developed. I want to buy multiple properties and then maybe 30 years later as it appreciates, I can be a centimillionaire.
And you do all this when you're 7 years old?
Absolutely.
Just buy Bitcoin lah.
If you haven't heard about the story of Lucas.
No, they've heard it.
Buying Bitcoin at $80. You got to watch the previous News Dash. Actually, this potentially is his hobby. He's retiring. Yeah, he bought $80 and now Bitcoin is 20,000.
I sold it already.
Go and watch it. Okay, go and watch it. You know when? Sorry, do you know when I was like looking at my Tesla stock, right?
Yeah.
Dropping, right? And I would just keep thinking about you. So I was quite tempted to sell when the price went up a little bit. Then I was like, no, I cannot be a Lucas. Yeah, I need to keep it until it reaches higher. But think about it. If you have sold Bitcoin, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met each other.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I also want to say something. Personally, I think that the standard of living in Singapore is getting crazy high.
It is.
This is a conviction in my heart and it's a burden in my heart for a long, long time. Millennials, Gen Zs are not owning homes, even though there was a recent article about how Gen Z is owning homes more than millennials. I don't know about retirement. I'm thinking in the past, a combined income of 5,000 is actually more than enough. Right now, is a combined income of like maybe 10,000 barely keeps you going.
Yeah.
Even your house mortgage, interest rates, kids' education, you will know that, right? Now people are going to the most competitive preschool, right? Pet Schoolhouse, right? Odyssey, I'm looking at the rates now, even though I haven't even get married. I'm not even married. I'm getting married next year. It's crazy. Like 3,000 per month.
It's some people's full-time salary, right?
Absolutely. It's so... Yeah, so there's something that we will do about it. I think that's something that JNA has to do about it. We want to be mission-driven in that. There are two things that we hope to be able to do. One of it is highly confidential and secret. The second thing is that we just hope to create like a retirement portfolio and fund for individuals who cannot afford multiple properties. I think that increases accessibility to real estate and makes retirement a tad easier.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's tough. All right, let's go on to the next one. As we are talking about the increase in the standard of living,
I'm sure everyone's talking about this already.
And everybody is... Okay, like, not very surprising that Duxton sets, new sales record, right? 1.4 million. Not an EA.
Is it not surprising?
Not an EM. Yeah, now it's getting surprising. But a 4-room.
Yeah.
HDB.
4-room HDB at 1.4 million. Last month, a 5-room at Duxton sold at 1.4 million.
My soul is leaving my body as we are talking about this. How do you buy a $1.4 million HDB, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me more, Lucas.
How do you buy it? I also don't know how you buy it.
It was sold on the 19th of April 2023.
Yeah.
apparently, most likely, Block 1C. So if you're residents of Block 1C, you can let us know.
Yeah.
Above the 46th floor.
Yes. I'm sure it's a great view. Amazing view.
Definite, beautiful unblocked views.
Yeah.
1022 square feet.
Yes. Because the buildings right in front of it are max like 25th floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last transacted happened 2 days before this transaction at 1.25 million.
Yeah.
Different block, above 46th floor.
Slightly smaller.
At $150,000 lesser. I bet this owner damn cheeky. He's like,
he thought he had the record, right?
He's like, I got a record. Then just 2 days, bam, and I record it, right? And the 5-room prices in April, what I'm seeing here, are actually sold at about 1.4 million, right?
They're both at 1.4, yeah.
So I have a question. If you have $1.4 million, would you buy a 4-room at Pinnacle at Duxton for the price with the views?
If it was an own stay,
Yep.
like forever home,
Yep.
I might consider it.
Yeah.
I might consider it.
Yeah. Based on TDSR and MSR frameworks, right? 1.4 million if you can afford in the HDB, it brings you about 2.8 million in the condo market, right? 2.8 million, you can't get anything that's above 46 floor that's 4 room.
Yeah.
That's the reason why these buyers are willing to pay.
Yeah.
And what you say is absolutely correct. If it's a forever home, Pinnacle Duxton is in the central region. I may consider myself even.
Yes. My only worry is, can the prices continue to go further? Like next time, if I want to sell, right, can I make a profit? But that's why I say if it's a forever home, I'm not going to care.
And that's the reason why there's that PLH model that came out, right?
Yeah.
All thanks to Mr. Pinnacle at Duxton. Yeah, because, prices are crazy. 2 fun facts. Number 1, Lucas made a very salient point, and that is, if we are planning to stay forever, I can tell you one thing. I hear that from all my clients, 100% of my clients, the moment they hit SSD or MOP, they will start shifting already. Okay? So you always will have to think of real estate as an asset. Don't think of it as a liability. I caught myself doing that. I wanted to buy a full sea view and Marina Bay view house and pay $1 million more than my neighbor. And I was caught, I was caught thinking too much about it, and I went into something better. And right beside it now, there's an unblock. Right? So think of your real estate as an asset. Don't ever think of it as a long-term stay plan. If you're above the age of 60, 55, potentially you can think of that way. But if you're under the age, right, you still have countless of cycles. What I'm saying now is every 3 years is a cycle for me to make money, right? Let's say you have 15 years to go. That's 5 cycles. Then build that capital, use other people's money and buy a bigger property.
Yeah.
A nicer property, right? So that's one. That's the first thing to take note of, right? The second thing to take note of is this, right? Specifically in HDB, we don't know how the government is going to regulate pricing. They want prices to be regulated. It's speculative lah, whether you think the prices will go up or not.
I don't know how the government is going to react to this, honestly. Every time something like this, like a record-breaking HDB happens,
our heart starts beating faster.
Within 1 month, it's like another cooling measure.
Correct. Within a month, the government will announce something. Yeah.
No more cooling measures, please.
Yeah. Actually, I love cooling measures.
You love cooling measures?
I want a cooling measure, right, that crash the market so that all investors can enter and buy. I'm waiting for that day. I am really waiting for that day. Yeah, but
sellers sell, you see. Not like Australia. If it goes too low.
Sellers won't sell. There's no property bubble. Market won't crash. So actually, you're right. Cooling measures not very good.
I can't imagine how tempting it would be, right? Can you imagine they have neighbors on the same high floor?
100%.
They bought it at 700K and now they're sitting on $1.4
million profit, right? Sorry, 700K in profit, right?
Yeah.
And I'll show you one thing. Fun fact, Pinnacle at Duxton, even though it is one of the places that made great capital gains, did not come in as overall champion spot in ROI earned for HDB.
Yeah.
The champion spot actually belongs in Punggol, Sengkang. Number 2, the condominium that's right beside Pinnacle at Duxton, Icon at Gopeng.
Yeah.
In the past, when people are entering Pinnacle at Duxton at maybe 400, 500 plus K, 600 plus K eventually, even, the owners there entered as low as 500 to 600 per square foot.
Yeah.
And may guess, how much is the PSF now?
1,003?
2,001.
Oh.
So you're thinking I bought Pinnacle at Duxton, 700K, I made 700K, 1.4 million. And I'm telling you that this person that's right beside you, the property price tripled. So you made 700K, now it's 2.3 million.
And they're all keeping quiet because at that time, it was actually quite norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but now it's a lot of news. Pinnacle Duxton is making a lot of news because it's HDB.
Absolutely. If it's a condo making 2 million and 1 million people are like, normal.
Norm.
Yeah, norm, right? Okay, great. So I think this is the last news that we have, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the News Dash. If you have yet to join our Telegram channel, what are you waiting for? It's just there. I'm going to point. Yeah, here. Yeah, here. Yeah. Did it? No. Yeah. So right there, you can just scan the QR code, join our Telegram channel. You know why you have to join our Telegram channel? Because, right, on our YouTube, we have our videos. On our podcast, Spotify, Singapore's Real Estate Explained, you get to hear us as you're commuting to work, you're putting in your podcast, you're putting your AirPods, you're just, commuting, right? Learning real estate knowledge. But the Telegram channel has great lobangs. Undervalued deals, listings that JNA Real Estate just taken out. And moving forward, we're going to have partnership deals as well, where, buying coffee, you get to have 5-10% off because there are some people who are working at JNA. We have even a furniture company that's working with us that's giving our users 40% off.
Wow.
And it is the top furniture brand in Singapore. Nice. Even I want to buy myself.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So join the Telegram channel, okay? Only people in the Telegram channel has these perks. Yeah, okay? So thank you so much for watching week 3 of News Dash, where 2 full-time real estate agents turned part-time newscasters try to break down some heavy-hearted news for you to make it a little bit more bite-sized and also to bring you some of the more light-hearted conversation about what's happening in Singapore's real estate explained, all right? In Singapore's real estate market. This is Jarvis.
This is Lucas.
And we hope to catch you for next week's News Dash. Bye-bye.
Bye.